you listen to podcasts that sound like this? Hey, welcome back to the Super OK Podcast, where our audio sounds mediocre.
Or do you prefer podcasts that sound more like this? Crisp, clear, fun, easy to listen to, and full of awesomeness? Well, then you should check out Spoiler Country, hosted exclusively over at Spoilerverse.com.
Henry Cavill in The Flash? What? No way! More on BridgingTheGeekdoms now! What am I doing? I have no idea, but today's episode, I want to talk to you all about Henry Cavill, Superman, possibly being in The Flash in some sort of cameo role. Now, what's interesting about that is I heard months and months ago that this was going to happen, and then yesterday, or the other day, whatever, I'm recording it on Tuesday, and it was Monday that this revelation came out. But there was a guy who posted the image, and we talked about it on our last video, leaked image of the Flash suit in the upcoming Flash movie. Now, at the time of recording, I didn't have all the facts. You know, when social media grabs something, it's so hard to dig through and find all the facts that you need to find. And I ended up coming across today, as I was promoting my new episode, some facts. People were coming at me like, hey, what you heard isn't right, blah, 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 this and that. It's the beauty of social media, right? The beauty of it. But I took a look at it, and, the guy that posted that leak was on the set of The Flash. Now, obviously, it's really... I believe he even got hit for copyright infringement. Some other people have been hit with copyrights on Twitter. I have not yet. As I said, I like to live on the edge. Let's see what happens here. But with all that said, he also stated that he saw Henry Cavill on set. It lines up with what I heard, I guess it was about 4 or 5 months ago, that he was being courted. Henry Cavill was being courted for a cameo in the Flash movie. He's not the only person that I heard about being offered the chance to cameo in this movie, and it's not the only character that I've heard they're looking at possibly adding in to the movie to have some sort of reference or cameo to them in the film. So this comes to no surprise to me. Now, love him or hate him, Screen Rant decided to run with an article today stating that no, Henry Cavill will not be in The Flash. Really? Because multiple people have heard that he will be popping up in at least a cameo role in some form or fashion. Again, I'm not saying that it's definitely happening. You know my stance on all rumors and all quote-unquote scoops. Until they're official, confirmed by official people, outlets, it's just rumor. So they very well could be right that he's not in the movie. But when a lot of people I know, and a lot of people I trust are hearing the same thing that I heard, well, you start to wonder, where there's smoke, there's fire, that there's probably a good chance that Henry Cavill's going to pop up in this movie in some form or fashion, even if it's just a small cameo role, which I believe is what I was told, if I'm not mistaken. But Screen Rant runs with this article quoting Umberto. Umberto is somebody who's been in the game for quite some time. Umberto is stating that there is zero chance of Henry Cavill showing up because he has no contracts for any kind of appearances as Superman, essentially, is what he's saying. Because that's not anything that can be worked out on the side, because that's not ever been the case. Now, let's for instance, let's take a look at the whole Spider-Man thing, and Tobey Maguire, for instance. Now, Tobey Maguire is believed to have a cameo in the upcoming Spider-Man movie. Will he, will he not? Who knows? Who knows at this point? But, there was talks about his contract being finalized just a day or two before being on set for the cameo, which makes sense. Sometimes you just gotta, you hold out, there's negotiating, then there's time constraints and all that. And when it comes to cameos, sometimes you can easily cut those out of the movie, out of the film, and it's like it was never even intended to be there. Not saying any of that is true in regards to Henry Cavill, and that's what's happening, but then you have to think about this. Umberto is saying that he will not be in any upcoming DC films. But when you have Henry Cavill's manager, Danny Garcia, insinuating very heavily that we will see Superman again, we have Henry Cavill saying, hey, the suit's still hanging in a closet, I'm ready to put it on whenever. You have Henry Cavill on a plane reading a script, which we could not see what the script was, but on a plane heading to America to work with some partners. And then you take into account everything that a lot of people have heard in regards to a possible Flash cameo. I'm sorry, Umberto. Sorry, Screen Rant. May not have been a good idea to run with that article. Obviously, you want the clicks. Makes sense. Clickbait. Everybody, for some reason loves clickbait. But you went ahead and posted that, and they're saying that. You stick by it. You do you. I am choosing to believe that he will be in The Flash. I'm choosing to believe that he will pop up in at least Black Adam in some form or fashion. Say that as you will. Like I said, I also heard that there were quite a few other cameos and character references that would be popping up in the upcoming Flash movie. And Cavill is one of them. Take that as you will. So, moving on, David Ayer's Ayer Cut of Suicide Squad. It's been a heavily talked about movement for the better part of a year, more than a year now. Seems like simultaneously as the Snyder Cut was greenlit and was announced, David released the Ayer Cut movement came into existence. I'm not as versed in the Ayer Cut movement as I was or am with the Snyder Cut movement, but I do know that it is growing constantly. They've had plenty of events on Twitter and a couple even streaming events for it. And they actually have an event coming up on August 5th, which is just a day or two from now, where they are going to have a Twitter event where you are on Twitter hashtagging release the Ayer Cut. Now, I did a whole video explaining what the Ayer Cut is to those who are unfamiliar with what transpired with that film, much like what happened with Zack Snyder on Batman vs. Superman and Justice League. David Ayer's Suicide Squad is the true director's vision of what he was trying to create. It was then Ayer helped in explaining this just a few days ago, not even a week ago, when he released a statement about how his cut of the movie was not what was released in theaters, and that he was done talking about it, that he played nice with the studio, but at this point it's done, it's over. Well, during the red carpet event the other day for James Gunn's The Suicide Squad, which has been getting rave reviews, during the red carpet event, Variety, which is a pretty reputable outlet, decided to have their reporter ask all the cast members, or many of the cast members, if they think that David Ayer's Suicide Squad, his cut of the movie, should be released. Now, kind of indifferent on this whole aspect here because, look, I want creative freedom. I want, the director's vision to be realized, especially because we now know that it fits better with what Zack Snyder was creating in the DC universe. But in my opinion, that was not the place nor time to discuss another version of another film. You're at the red carpet premiere of one man's movie, of a movie that all these actors are there to promote and get people excited about, and they're getting asked, some of them are getting asked about a movie they had nothing to do with. Now, there's some speculation and some conspiracy going around that it was all a Warner Brothers or DC and Variety ploy, and that the actors were already instructed prior on what to say in regards to it, and that Variety was in on them asking, and the actors were in on answering in a certain way. But when you listen to the answers, they're all saying, why not? Let's release it. Might as well. What's the harm? Some are saying it's a win-win. So what is going to happen here? And that's a good question, because for so long we all believed that the Ayer Cut was coming, and then all of a sudden, nothing. Is it coming? Is it not? Now's the perfect time. It really is. The Suicide Squad will be out in a couple days. It's going to have its big boost. It's going to be seen by many people. Whether it lives or dies has no relevance or impact on David Ayer's cut of the movie. So, why not? There's nothing else coming up Suicide Squad-wise except for the game. That's a while away still. Why not? It's just extra money in their pockets. It's a done movie. They have it somewhat, from what I understand, that was more complete than the Snyder Cut ever was. So even if they have to throw, $20 million at it, they're going to easily make that $20 million back if they even have to throw that much at it, which they probably don't. Let me know your thoughts below on what happened with the red carpet premiere, because again, I'm kind of indifferent. I'm not a big fan of how they went about talking to these actors at this event. But then again, maybe it was a marketing stunt and they were already planning on doing that because they are planning on releasing it. It just all seems weird how everything is playing out right now. But let me know your thoughts below on that. Let me know your thoughts on Henry Cavill showing up in The Flash or Black Adam or anything like that. Just let me know what you're thinking. But with all that said, guys, make sure you check out my channel. I got some really cool videos up there right now. I got an interview I did with John Horsley from Spoiler Country. We got a re-release of an interview that I did with Shannon Rona of the Pittsburgh Avengers, a cosplayer, part of the Pittsburgh Avengers. It was a really, really cool conversation, so go check that out on my channel right now. And coming up, we got some really cool things. We got a show or an episode where we reboot The Matrix. The entire Matrix trilogy. Crazy. Now, this is a thing that we did about 4 years ago, 3-4 years ago. Me, Colton, and a buddy of ours, Brian, sat down, audio only, but we sat down and rebooted the Matrix trilogy. And let me tell you, I think it turned out really, really cool. It was released a number of years ago, but it needed edited. It needed so much done to it. So what I went ahead and did is I took it, I edited it down, kind of turned it into a better version of that episode, and it's going to release sometime this week. I'm hoping Thursday, possibly Friday, depending on how everything goes when it comes to finishing the video portion of it. And I'm going to get that up so you can check that out and let me know your thoughts on all that. But I think that's all, guys. I think that's all I want to talk about. Again, let me know your thoughts down below on all the crap that's going on right now. It's always something with DC and Warner Brothers. I can't believe how ridiculous and how many leaks are coming out of the Flash set and this Henry Cavill stuff. Come on, guys. They'd be dumb not to use him in some form or fashion, and we know he loves the character. And then Suicide Squad stuff. You know, we got that event coming up on social, so make sure you get part of that if you want to see that movie come out. But with all that said, guys, I will talk to all of you later. What's going on, guys? Did you enjoy this video? If you did, make sure you smash that like button. And for more, hit subscribe with that little notification bell. That way, you'll be notified every time a new episode drops. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all later.